Kindness starts here. This your girl Quill, the one that keeps it real without trill, to give you a thrill that is beauty filled with looks that can kill. Hey, welcome back to God's Kingdom of Tarot Show. Tarot Show. You better act like you know. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, yeah. So your actions look bitter, but they were indeed prevention. I was about to say perfection. Oh, God is saying perfection. Everything I hear, I believe it's coming from God. I don't care what you think or nothing, okay? I don't care what you think was associated with this shit in the past, in the future, the present, or nothing, okay? I'm still going to believe I'm hearing God through these cards, okay? But a lot of people are realizing that, you weren't in fact bitter. So now they're like, oh, erase all of that, okay? The past didn't happen, okay? This is basically what happened in history of our people. Sorry, I'm doing my settings. Not sorry, but yeah, so yeah, this has happened in history to our people. They'll see something and realize something that, would make you correct, or would make you better, appear better, or whatever. And then they'll be like, oh no, this never existed. We never heard that. Or let's not visit that. Let's not focus on that. That is not the irrelevant issue here. Nah. It was prevention. And a lot of us are so psychic that we start acting as if the thing that happened, that will happen if we don't make a certain decision, has happened already. So we avoid having even to make the decision. We go straight to prevention. Straight to prevention. We don't have to make that decision anymore. So say if you want a better result, better understanding of it or insight, if you need it, okay? I'm not trying to talk down on you. I feel like people think that about me, and I just, like, it took a long time for me to get here. I was just actually reflecting on how I see my growth in myself, and without even having to watch videos from the past, I've seen it. I felt it myself. I felt, like the only difference between me then and me now is my confidence. And I knew I had to work on that. At the beginning, I knew that. But I didn't let that stop me from doing it in the first place. Whether I had to make the decision of being confident or not being confident, or doing this and not doing this. I didn't even have to make that decision. I understood what may or may not happen. Thank you for the first bonus blessings to you. The first bonus blessings over here. Shout out to the 18 people, now 13 people. I got to say that because this happens, okay? I saw 9 people here at first. That's the number of God. Yeah, what up, what up, what up? Yeah, so, so say if you are a person who separated from your partner, no matter, whatever that relationship is, or, if it's man or woman and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I did do a video about that. There's always a man or a woman. It's always a man and a woman, okay? No matter if it's a kid, young man, or old man, always a man and a woman, no matter the relationship, working together to do these plots and schemes and stuff like that. But yeah, and that video is posted right now, so definitely check it out. It shouldn't be hard to find in the live videos. But yeah, so so say if you are with a partner and then you guys produce a child, whatever method you choose, whatever partner this is, right? And then one partner, so you're doing this for a long time, or like a pretty decent time, you're raising this child, building this child, I would say. And then or so say you're the the more compassionate one, the one that is not trying to mess up this mission. Okay, no matter what you do or have done or anything like that, you stayed on your post. Okay, you are the one. All right, so we're gonna knock that out. So no matter if you here watching in a negative way too, because I already know y'all do this. Y'all even wondering if I'm referring to you, or referring to them, or referring to this person or that person. I don't give a damn. All right. I used to care so much about messing up in the past. Messing up or saying the wrong thing, saying a thing that may not be true, saying a thing that will hurt someone's feelings or, make them mad or talk about someone when I'm not really trying to do that. And then I compared it to now. Now I just don't give a fuck, okay? I just don't give a fuck. And it's not that I'm more reckless now. I just don't give a fuck about things that don't matter. Who cares if I say something that is not true for you? It's probably true for somebody. That's why I said it. Like I said, I believe I hear from God in these cards. I don't care what nobody says. But yeah, so you're that person, and then the other person decides to separate, okay? And leaving you on your post with your child. All right? And then ultimately, you have to make certain decisions at this point in time. Whether you go and beg for this person to come back, whether you do something you have to do to move on, and add to the fact that you're a primary caregiver of this child, and that's why you also don't move off your post. And you do things that would allow you to sustain the normal thing you had before this person left. That's prevention. Whatever it is, even if you go beg for it back, because you're already thinking about how you and that child will be impacted in the future. Because if you didn't do prevention or didn't make any decision, the inevitable will happen. But knowing the inevitable is the inedible at the beginning and doing something about it is prevention. And people may have thought those actions and decisions were bitter in that moment because you have your own reasons. Even if you go beg for them back, you're probably bitter because you don't want to deal with the kid alone or whatever. You start comparing who you used to be in the past and how much freedom you don't have. It ends up sinking on you. It could all appear bitter. I'm stepping on some bunions. I know. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to take a sip to that. I'm going to drink to that. Okay. Aquarius could be significant, woman. So, depending on what type of person you are, after this point, your bitterness will either be accepted by you or rejected by you. So that you can end up doing or overcoming, leaping over the obstacle that you are having to prevent in the first place. So everybody's now in their feelings, depending on if you're bitter or not. Because either way it go, these people are going to be bitter, whether you accept your bitterness or not. Ain't that crazy? That's why they act the way they do. That's why they hold on to things. That's why they hold grudges. Perhaps for shit they did. The party that left, they probably have motherfuckers enabling them, pumping their head up. All that shit. But you stayed on your post. You stayed where your mission should be. No matter what decisions you had to make, no matter the innocent decisions you had to make or not guilty decisions you have to make that would make you appear bitter no matter what. But you always have your own rationale because you're preparing for prevention, or you're preventing the inevitable from happening. You can't control other people's actions at this point, right? And they've already illustrated to you that you can't control them. At this moment in time, whenever they made this decision. So now, depending on what actions appear bitter that you've accepted or not accepted, depends on if you're at the end. And most people can't get to the end to enjoy prevention. Because by the time we get to the end, everybody's at prevention now. Everybody has arrived. You probably arrived faster than them, but they arrived to prevention. You see? You see what I'm talking about? That's that energy. And you could be petty motherfucker and rub it in a little bit more. But everybody gonna end up at prevention. Everybody gonna end up at the thing that you were doing to prevent things. Not their decision at the beginning. Nah. They set the ball in motion and you had to respond and react. Your actions. Because that's all they're gonna focus on. They might as well neglect their actions. Thank you for the second like. Bonus blessings to you. Neglect their actions in the first place. Because they've already come to the conclusion you are bitter. They think you down there with them. But most of y'all were at prevention. That's what happened. Do you sometimes go through those situations where you end up doing the thing that you was like, see, this is what I was trying to do. This is what I was trying to show you. This is what I was trying to tell you. And you don't even say it in a bitter way. You don't say it in a petty way either. You're like, see, this is what I was talking about, It was because you was working towards prevention and you already arrived to prevention before they did. And then so now it's up to you to accept bitterness or not. Because now you justify whether you accept bitterness or not. Do you want to be bitter and hold on to the grudge and have your time go swim on your back and shit? Backpedal. Because now you created a whole pool to swim in. A victory. No matter if they tell you you're the winner or not, you already know. You were so psychic enough to get down there to the shallow end or whatever it's called. I can't remember. The deep end. I use a lot of number lines in my readings. You're welcome. Well, I'm glad you feel like I've helped you. Okay. What would God say to you today? We're going to use our Barbie deck. Okay. What would God say to you? Okay. Sunny days are coming. We got the sun out. That bounced out. Okay. You're going to be doing a bankhead bounce. Okay. I did a reading not too long ago that said that river banks and they're releasing the bankheads. Okay. Which are our servants. Okay. But it also could be them bankheads. Okay. Y'all know what it is. 4 coin stability. See, good things are coming. Okay. Just stay on your post. Stay there. Stay where you are. Okay, Cheryl? Really? It's been raining? Well, open the floodgates of heaven. Let it rain. Morton. And the Ace of Swords came out. So it's like a true victory. Look, I just said that. It's like you drew your line in the sand. That all those analogies, you already did it. They just had to be courageous enough to get to the deep end where you are. Because probably the solution to prevention didn't really hurt anybody. It probably gave everybody what they fucking want. That's why you ended up there. What you want, you attract, what you desire, and all that stuff. And sometimes God was like, yeah, I did say that. I did say that. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go down there. I did say that. Because God is good all the time, right? But this situation is not going to be good for one party. And it's ultimately the party who started the shit, okay? You created this battlefield, or you laid out the intent to battle, okay? And we've taken you up on your offer. A good God, nothing but good God, will prevent all of that, like we're talking about, from even happening in the first place. But a good God does things that are for your good. What's for your good is probably not meant to just be for another person's good. It wasn't their lesson. They were there to witness that they were right all along. They were victorious. They were a winner all along. Oh my God. I was so Ace of Swords came out with the Six of Swords, and I was like, are you in between places right now? Or they're saying like, don't worry, because things are, yeah, you're cutting through the grass. It says, okay, hon, I have no one but my dog. I'm evicted. I think that's what you're trying to say. I'm evicted, and the Six of Swords came out in reverse. Wow. Well, I believe that you came across this path for a reason, because we gonna expect good things from now on, okay? See, whatever started the eviction process, that's what got the ball rolling. But if it was not preventive in the first place, God's going to let things play out, but it's going to be for your good. I can guarantee you that. Whoever fault it is, was, all of that. Now, awesome. So, and shout out to the two people up in here. I appreciate y'all. Knight of Swords. That's my Jesus card. See, Jesus. Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. Oh, Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. You can call him up and tell him what you want. Yes. If you're sick and you can't get well, tell him what you want. If you're sick and you can't get well, tell him what you want. If you're sick and you can't get well, tell him what you want. You can call him up and tell him what you want. Yes. What we saying today? What we saying? What we praying today? What we praying? What we doing today? What we doing? Now that's my song. But yeah, that was a church hymn. I don't know who created it, but yeah, it's a church hymn. But yeah, Jesus is here. Jesus is here. The presence of the Lord is here. Yes, I love it. He's great and the Spirit is here. He's great and the Spirit is here. Well, we understand. We understand. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh. So this is like a mature woman. It could be a mature woman up to like a teenager, I'm getting. Because some of these Queen of Pentacles, they had money as a teenager and stuff like that. I feel like Jesus is on somebody's neck, okay? On their neck. Did I say thank you for the third like? If not, thank you for the third like. May God bless you bonusly, okay? And then Page of Wands, especially if someone, I feel like a mother could have also kept a sister away from a brother as well, or a grandma did this, a grown mama, but they probably don't deserve to be a grown mama. They a grandmama, okay? Old mama, okay? Someone also used to act like your mom. Yeah, and then they betrayed you. 10 of Swords. Oh, yeah, they're exposing this person. Wow. They keeping a sister away from a brother on purpose. They have these preconceived notions about them. It could be a Gemini, the lovers card in reverse. Okay, but also that love is coming for somebody, you know. King of Wands, ooh, okay, in reverse though. So someone could have gone through a divorce or is about to go through a divorce, and it drew a line between you and your sibling as well. And then 10 of Wands in reverse. So also, yeah, so remember I was saying a teenager was rich or something like that. A teenager could be rich right now. They don't have to work. Or this King of Wands was being taken care of by someone, a Queen of Pentacles as well. And this person probably didn't give them unrequited love. Someone didn't love themselves. It could have been both of the people in the relationship didn't love themselves. Queen of Swords. Okay, they didn't talk to one another. Queen of Swords in reverse. This person could have been a singer, especially a Gemini. Two of Swords, yeah, Gemini, heavy on the board. Ace, with the Two of Swords in reverse, and then Ace of Coins. So, someone also could have been released from somewhere, some type of institution, any kind of institution could be here as well. I'm even hearing a shelter. Six of Coins in reverse. So yeah, she's on her way. She's walking fast. This person could like to wear heels, you know, like runs in heels and stuff like that. She walking fast towards this person with the Six of Coins in reverse. Also, someone withdrew their support from another person. This King of Wands could be related to this King of Swords as well. You know, they could have worked together for something. Judgment, yeah. And somebody had to let somebody go. Somebody had to forgive for thinking someone was probably bitter, you know, and all they were doing is preventing this inevitable day of judgment. That's it. So heavy Aquarius, Gemini on the board, and then fire signs as well. Leo, heavy, Aries, and Sag. Okay. Three of Swords is in reverse. Yeah, see, you were preventing hurt. You're preventing pain. Awesome. I'm glad you will. The Wheel of Fortune, they start that wheel of turning. When they did something to you and you had to react. And then you react in the name of prevention. And Wheel of Fortune is also time. Prosperity is beginning, your purpose. You know, a lot of you have unlocked your purpose, especially if I named your sign today. Yeah, and then, you know, although it made you made people hurt you because they swung first and asked questions later. They didn't even ask you your rationale. They didn't try to even understand the rationale behind your actions. Okay. The World card here, see, Leo is heavy, Aquarius is heavy, Scorpio now on the board, and Taurus. Okay. Yeah. And then Queen of Pentacles did come out. So a Taurus woman is very significant. A Ten of Cups in reverse. Wow. And then the Queen of Cups in reverse. So, you know, like the men were in their extreme masculinity, so extreme toxic masculinity, and then these women were using their emotions to manipulate. But then they got to the point, they've done it so much, they become that person. So you being away or separating yourself from this person for whatever reason as well, you know, could have been for the benefit of you, because you start seeing a different person who was manipulating you. They didn't even know how to not manipulate you. They lied about things they didn't have to lie about. They overlooked and ignored things that you brought up or they brought up when they didn't have to. Or they could have filled you in on that little small detail, but they hid it on purpose. They became that. And you didn't like that at first. I mean, you didn't remember getting with that at first, or connecting with that at first, because this could be any relationship. It don't have to be a romantic one. Like, I didn't start to like you because of who this person is. I don't know who the fuck this is. Who the fuck built this motherfucker? Okay? Who they built? Who built this? I mean, what is this? I don't get this. Y'all could have been starting feeling like that towards people. Behavior issues in your kids and stuff like that. Maybe after they were exposed to certain people, environments, because these people have changed and didn't realize they changed because they've been like this so much, and They were good at hiding it at first. And then they didn't have to hide it. They could remove the mask all they want. And that's who they was. And they thought they were justified because they survived this long. A lot of elders do that. Oh, I'm such and such years old, so I ain't gonna ever change now. And then people around them enable that and induce that and say, that's just how they are. Like, yeah, we can't tell mama or daddy nothing or grandpa nothing. I don't give a fuck who they are. Okay? There's no way in hell this is all right. And there's no way in hell no one should accept this. Queen of Cups is in reverse with the Ten of Cups. So someone in your family heavily was a big ass hater. See, this is the matriarch of the family who think because they've been on this earth for so damn long, God must be pleased with them. No, God ain't ready to even make a decision on your ass yet. And God told me, just because you're an elder don't mean that you deserve respect, especially when you don't earn it. Some of us give motherfuckers respect out of pity. Because how I want to do you right now, motherfucker, it's safe that I stay in respect, man. It's safe I stay in respect, sir. Okay? I've already karate chop kicked you and flipped you over by your arm to the ground. In my head. So it's best I stay in respect. See, prevention. Then they'll get mad at you because you choosing that. Or think that it is now okay to move on and be like that, continuing to be like that. Nah. Somebody got to stand up to you. And we ain't got to hit you. And we really don't have to disrespect you. We can respectfully tell your ass off. And because you so broken, you don't see the respect in that. You don't see how it could have been worse. Because you got used to being that way. And everybody let your ass run rampant like that. In our energy, in their energy. So now they don't want to take your shit no more. They bitter. Something wrong with them. Oh, that's going to get them in trouble. Nah, you going to get you in trouble. And we respectfully bowing out of this situation, sliding to the left. Because I ain't letting these motherfuckers slide no more. They ain't letting you slide no more. You are at the slide that we must, without a doubt, declare that this is your last slide. And after this, if you reach for another motherfucking slide, we will be like, in the name of every slide, by the power invested in us, you fill in the blank. You do it. Then we got 4 swords in reverse. Yeah, your funeral. Okay. You need to be departing ways with this motherfucking self you have built and created. Part ways with that motherfucker. Always trying to threaten us with the 4 swords. That's your funeral because you don't want to accept bitterness. We got to accept your shit that caused you the shit to make us have to have a decision to be bitter or not. It's never a right time to say goodbye. You need to say goodbye to that self. The old you is dead and gone, dead and gone. Because the wrong motherfucker gonna kill it, and you ain't gonna be able to put it to rest peacefully. You know how they say you gonna meet your match? Yeah. That self that you built gonna meet its match. KO. Fatal, what is it called? I'm thinking about Mortal Kombat. The game, the movie, all that shit. Okay. Scorpio could be very significant. Because in that movie, or even, like the game, the Scorpion is there. And that one's sticking out to me. Five of Cups in reverse. Yeah. We do things to prevent regret. Okay. Five of Cups upright is regret. If anything we regret putting up with your shit for this long or short, or I don't know. You must regret the day that you left me. Yeah, LaToya Luckett. Is that Lil Wayne with her too? I don't know. And then we got King of Coins upright. Yeah, because we have prosperity to look for. Okay. A lot of motherfuckers, or especially men, they thinking they're walking around with emotional wounds, and they're in like inability to tap into their emotions, and it's not that. It's someone abusing their emotions. It's causing a wound, but it has nothing to do with you. Four of Cups. Sorry. Yeah. That's how it comes out. That's how it came. Well, thanks. Yeah, so we have Four of Cups upright. Yeah, so yeah, so Four of Cups upright means that you're rejecting an offer that you really need. We accept that offer at the beginning. When we accept prevention, we accept that offer. Because who knows best for us? God, right? Whoever has a plan for our life, whoever we believe has a plan for our ending, we is in charge of that. So sometimes God will come at the beginning to see. Sometimes God don't even expect you to accept it because they know you're going to get to prevention too. But most of the time, we ain't got to go through the same thing. We ain't got to apologize for the same things motherfuckers have to apologize for. Some men have women in their life who are taking out their abuse that they received from their father or a father figure. I mean, okay, so incest is going on. But yeah, like, because somebody is still married to their father. They're basically married to their father. And it looks like their husband. And that could possibly be the reason why they were able to stay married that long. So somebody got a divorce. But yeah, they were able to stay married that long because essentially that's their father. Like, so it's like an unbreakable bond type of thing. So it's really innate unconditional love. Some people don't activate it. Some people don't use it. Build on it. Grow it. But I wasn't even trying to say that. So I put that out there. If it sticks or if it confirms something for you, good. If it doesn't, that's fine too. All right. Don't mean I'm lying. But anyway, like, so the mother will be getting abused by her husband. And then she'll start taking it out on the men in her life because the men starts, whether the child or the sons look like the father or not, that it start reminding them of a relationship with the father. Like sometimes, like they will probably get even more angry at something that you done, mistakes that you made that reminded them of your father quicker. Like quicker. Like, so if your father was known and they probably still together and stuff like that, and you just the punching bag basically. But like your father leaves his socks or he leaves his underwear everywhere, and and stuff like that, and she had to get on him, to get to the point where he is now. He probably doesn't do it as much, or he's very cognizant of it. He may apologize when he does it, and then she has to, do something about it or whatever, and then, you do this one time probably because she had to work on this problem with him, whether he ended up even improving or not. So damn sure don't let it be something that you are now. Don't let it be a situation where you're now witnessing the abuse that she's endured or has to endure. It's even worse then, and it's sad because a lot of our men, they they take on that baggage as if it's something wrong with them, and it's really nothing wrong with them. They just had to grow up in an environment that it looked normal for that to happen. But she has these deep-rooted fucking wounds, and she couldn't be fucking big enough and bad enough to stand up to him even. So this problem probably will never change. And you do it one time, and she took out all that anger just on you. And you probably just forgot. You didn't even mean to. It probably dropped while you were taking your laundry, doing your laundry or something. Yeah. Or just even transporting your clothes in a bunch, and it just drops. And because she's already dealing with that issue, or has done it with that issue, encountered that issue already, you were supposed to know about it. So imagine how many more things she does like this. She handles like this. And then she starts creating these fucking wounds onto you. You got to heal. You wondering where they're coming from too. Because it looks normal. That's how manipulative she has gotten. So much that is now her. She thinks it's normal. There's nothing wrong with it now. So I'm sorry if you feel like that. I feel there's a lot of men in the whole wide world that feels like this. They blame it on themselves, and it ain't had shit to do with them. They've been plagued with this fucking impact. And they got to heal from something that they don't even know it's there, some of them. So they don't even know where it came from. And then now they're operating in that ignorance, because ignorant just means you don't know. You're operating in that ignorance. So are you doing more damage to yourself? That risks doing more damage, even in the right things that you're doing. You probably went to counseling, therapy, or whatever things you feel like would heal those type of things for you. Done certain self-care activity, exercises, meditation, yoga, and all that type of stuff. Not to say those tools don't work for other people, but for your illness, that treatment, it was supposed to have been used for something else in your life. Not to cure this shit. Because it's not the right cure. It's a Band-Aid. And it could possibly do more damage down the line, because you're fixing something that probably ain't broken. You're thinking something, and now you're going along this route instead of the route that you should have been going on. For this bitch. Sorry, but it mostly be happening with mothers. And I'm trying not to be disrespectful, see? But it's like sometimes it's inevitable to be disrespectful, because that's disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. You let your motherfucking self get that fucking broken so much that you're passing it on to your child. But most of us, we be at prevention when this shit starts to form. I ain't talking about those mothers. And I ain't saying every mother is like that. And I'm not saying you're a bad person if you didn't purposely cultivate this. And you see the people who are purposely cultivating it. They start to be that. If you already noticing it, you're doing your best to be like, okay, this is my problem. Huddle up over here problem, you know. I don't want even my kid to see it, right? Like you don't want your kid to see certain, things, chaos, whatever, right? You're like, so why would, if you're willfully passing that type of treatment on to your child, it's either you're not aware of it or you're aware of it and think it's okay. Because if you were aware of it, it wouldn't even touch your child, I promise you. The tower. Oh, yeah. Someone could have been in prison. I get prison for the tower. But yeah, Scorpio and Aries could be significant. Now, Aries is heavy on the board. I even get embroidery or something about embroidery. Maybe someone likes to sew as well, or sewing is significant. Sewing machine is significant. 7 of coins in reverse. Yeah, somebody could invest into like a sewing machine. I did it in the past and I lost it in storage. Well, actually, I lost it in pawn. Okay. I never got to use it. So somebody got a brand new sewing machine for a fraction of the cost. Because if you know anything about pawn shops, they can't even give you more than 30% of what you paid for it. So they only pay, somebody's only paying probably a markup on that 30%, if it is a markup. But it's okay. um, God would give me better, and maybe it will be embroidery because I want embroidery. Um, in my sewing machine, it was hard to get one that does both, but it has the option of embroidery, or it was probably too expensive. I can't remember. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, so your investments are returning on itself, or they seeing the to go back to what I was talking about, they seeing the effects of the seeds they planted. Some of them were bad seeds, some of them were good seeds, but most of them were bad seeds because they were planting seeds with bitterness, pain, hurt, jealousy. I'm hearing envy. 7 of Swords in reverse, yeah. And now they don't want to be like that. They seeing they gotta be right. You gotta be right to move on. You gotta be right to just move out of the place you're in. And it'd be so hard for these mothers. I'm sorry, I don't like to bash anybody. Like I don't like to bash men. I don't like to bash women. I'm very careful about bashing men because as a woman, I'm expected to bash men. And so I try to be very conscious of not bashing men, but like sometimes it has to come out that way, and I really understand. Like I really understand some of these men, what some of these men go through, um, and not because yeah, people be thinking I'm a hoe or something, but I'm not. Like I I've spoken to a lot of people, but I did not get into bed with a lot of people, sleep with people, and all that type of stuff. That's not even my heart. Like I understand how sacred my body is, and I've known that as a young girl, and I was violated in that way when I was a toddler. So once I was even aware of that behavior being a bad thing happening to me or happened to me, you know, I even wanted to protect my body more. So like, and you see that type of experience, it didn't, break me when it came to that department. It actually made me want to protect myself a bit more in the ways I can control it. Prevention. So, but yeah, so I understand men a lot, and I don't even be dick riding on them. I just put that out there. It came out. It just came out. Okay. But yeah, so, but yeah, but I don't. I like to look at men and women equally. I'm like, I like to be about equality. Like, like my name equal. Okay, but yeah, like I like to be like I like to balance things when it comes to that. Like especially um opposite sex against each other as well. So I'm not surprised I figured out like it's always a man and a woman working together, because even when I'm looking at a woman stating her issue or something like that, I'm also looking at it from a man's perspective as well. And so if I considered it as a male perspective and I still get mad on your behalf, that means you didn't do much. It was them. So, and I'm the same way with the men though, like, so, or if they told me something about a woman, I would, also consider it from a woman's perspective without even my bias as a woman, like just her perspective, because she's there. I'm considering it from her. So I'm looking at her as a spokesperson for all women. So I'm not even being biased towards myself. I'm taking myself out of it and trying to view it from if someone presented it to me like they're doing. So it's like, even like if after hearing her story and it feels like, the man who told me the story is still innocent, I'm going to be mad at the woman, like, because I've already gave her a fair shot. I gave her a fair shot just as much as the person who come to me, or I probably have more interest in, and not in like a romantic way, but just the interest, like the Seven of Pentacles, like when you have an interest in an investment or something like that, or this connection, I have a connection to this person probably, or I probably don't, you know? But, I try to consider both sides, and most of the time, and then I've come to the conclusion it be the bitch most of the time. Even when they saying somebody else did it to them, based on their decisions and consideration after that actions happen, it always be their fault. Because they think they can also just, because they're a woman, they could be this. So they come with this entitlement. I see it. Even when they deal with me as another woman, I see it from all angles. Yeah, so trust me, I just know where y'all come from, and I don't claim to know everything. I just understand. Like, I understand. I grew up in a house with majority boys actually who were living with us, as well. But I didn't learn it through them, because it was a lot of enabling going on even that in that. Like, I saw the enabled, like how people were enabled, whether it dealt with situations with me or not held accountable for their actions. Someone, loving them so much, they protect, they protect them in a way where this person has to learn to protect themselves, or learn that, whatever this protection doesn't get you out of everything. Like, I was adopted, if y'all knew here, and I live in a foster home with those 4 boys living with us at the same time. Who wasn't there? No, it was 3 boys. Yeah, 3 boys living with us at the same time. But it was always, because she had 6 kids of her own, and it was always like she had a house full of her kids, her adult kids, and or they were pretty much adults and should be preparing to live on their own, but they most of my life they always lived there, and they were so much older than me, and so it's just even that's enablement, right? But I wasn't even looking at it from that perspective. But when I reflect back on it, I'm like, damn, but they were always living there, and I saw a lot of enablement happen. And one of her sons, the baby son, which is the one who hurt me, but yeah. So her baby son grew up, and she would enable him and protect him in instances against me, not dealing with me at all, and stuff like that. And then so once he grew up and he was able to go to jail, every time she would bail him out, until she wasn't able to just bail him out. And it's like those type of situations. It's like eventually God was trying to show him he has to own up and take accountability for his mistakes. No matter if he was at fault or not, she was bailing that man out. And then she, one of the sons that was living with us, she actually had legal custody and legal guardianship over him. So it wasn't her biological son, but she treated him like that, but not really. Honestly, I saw that even as well. Like, he started getting in trouble at a certain age too. It's similar to the same time her baby boy used to get in trouble, started getting in trouble once he turned that age, because he was older than the baby boy. So when that happened with him, it was no bonds. I remember there was no bonds. He had to ride that shit out. He even missed his graduation or something. He missed something big. So, And then you see like, and it would look like even to society possibly. It's like, oh, because this was her real child and this wasn't her real child. You know, she was just protecting her son. She didn't want to see her son hurt. All this type of stuff. But if God is trying, like, you got to think at one point, one of these instances, God is trying to tell him something. And you can't get in the way. Because it's so normal to her to do this. She becomes this person. And she probably wasn't even trying to be this person. She was probably the reason why these situations were created. But then still, it falls back on her. She got the ball rolling. Yeah, so that's why I got Knight of Wands in reverse. So people, so we got the Seven of Swords with the Knight of Wands in reverse. See, a lot of, prevention, a lot of apologies, regret is, lingering in an air, like, yeah, I'm sorry I play with your heart type of energy is coming out, like, I'm sorry that I couldn't be committed. I'm sorry that I was so fast to, like, destroy things when they weren't working instead of fixing them. I'm getting that energy as well. And also Seven of Swords is like a faithful servant. Seven of Swords in reverse is a faithful servant. So, like, even if you take it that way, like someone is, was at that stage where, like, they will stay on their post. Like we were talking about earlier, they will be that faithful servant. They understand their information comes from God. I did a reading not too long ago that said trusting God and not them is going to get you so far. And so many good blessings are coming for you guys. So definitely check that out if you want to know. We looked at what's coming for us, how far it's going to take us by just trusting God, because you will start feeling bad, like where it's like, am I making the right decisions? No, that's the goal. That's the goal of the enemy. Daddy don't know who you are. Yeah. Or even God not knowing who you are because you don't spend time with him. You didn't develop a relationship with him. So I'm getting that. And then we have Hangman upright. So that could be enlightenment, devotion, as well. But we always look at it in the bad way, as a sacrifice, like, they had to let you go. Some people are really remorseful about, sacrificing your time, sacrificing your feelings, your energy, emotion, like your emotions, like the actions, the emotions that drove your actions, the feelings that drove your actions. You could look at that word like that. But, like, they understand, like, they have to look within. Or they will understand that. Because now they have to sit up and feel crucified. And not that we wish that for them. It's like, you got to go through the emotion. You got to go through the action. Maybe you got to walk a mile in our shoes, or maybe many miles in our shoes to get there. But you got to focus on that. It has nothing to do with our freedom. It has nothing to do with our progression, our matriculation. Someone could be in school, college as well. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, because no more broke days. Someone was probably even being financially abused. Some people were being love bombed. Or are being love bombed. See, a lot of that stuff. Even coming up with this download or getting this download, however you want to look at it. But, I wasn't thinking about how psychologically it was related, or how much your emotions or manipulation would shine out here. I was more so focused on people thinking you are bitter because of how you acted, reacted, whatever, to whatever they did. Because that's why they start saying you bitter. They did something first, and then you did something, and then whatever your action was, they're judging your bitterness. That's it. But there will be probably no action if they hadn't done anything, and then bitterness wouldn't even be considered. But anyway, that's what I understand. You don't have to understand it that way though. But yeah, so Yeah, like some of them were yeah, I didn't see that, so much emotional stuff was gonna point out. So I was thinking, like at very surface level, like, like people think you're so bitter, especially how if you were with somebody, you were connected to somebody, and then y'all got into it, and then they wanted to apologize or come back and stuff like that, or whatever the situation is, you know and you're not accepting it for face value, but you're opening the gate to be more open to accepting who they claim they are now, or, what they claim they feel now, think now, or whatever, and then, but in reality, like you are that person who's not even accepting apologies, or, like, because you're already at prevention. You were probably already there a long time ago. So you're not even in the space of prevention anymore for that situation. You moved on. Like you got to a new land, new level, or some type of stuff. So people are looking at that as bitterness as well. So I'm like, if anything, I thought it was gonna go that direction, but hopefully it's all making sense, and hopefully it's being useful and helpful for you. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in and trusting me to be your reader. I hope that you consider and decide to subscribe, join this tribe, this kingdom of God we're building here through tarot. Yes, through tarot. And if you're an OG here, God and Goddess, what up? What up? Thank you so much for tuning back in and trusting me again to be your reader. I hope we continue to connect in the future. Okay. But yeah, if you haven't already, please like the video. And may God bless you bonusly for that. Okay, bonus likes today, bonus likes. But yeah, so someone is in an energy, or was in an energy, where they were love bombing you. Like they would do something to you, and then you will react in a certain way, and probably you would react in submissiveness. Like you won't react in a way where they would even think you're bitter. And they would, instead of apologizing and acknowledging the appreciation for that reaction or whatever, they love bomb you by buying you things, and like they could have bought you a puppy, an animal in the past, or something they did, or as well, like a big stuffy animal. Oh wow, and I'm saying that Nine of Wands came out, and she's like surrounded by stuffies as well. So, and it's giving me like, when somebody cheats, they get their spouse a new car or something like that. It's like this person has like a land full of cars. Yeah, and then she has a castle in the back as well. And then somebody could also be holding somebody accountable for that. She has a lantern in her hand on this Hermit card in reverse. It's like putting the light in their face, or refusing to show them the light anymore. Like, I'm not at prevention anymore. Are you still there? You didn't unlock the next level in the land. I'm in this land now. Okay, type of energy. But a Virgo could be significant. Oh, the Emperor. What do we got? That'd be my God card, okay? Or Divine Masculine card. Aries. See, Aries, I told you he's serious on the board, okay? What you know about that, okay? What you know about that? That's what I'm hearing. What you know about that? What you know about that? See, I've been coming out a lot in my readings. But yeah, it's like that introduction is like, what you know about that, or why do you know that? So people be wondering like why you know this or how you know that and stuff like that. Okay, guy, you trying to call me out? Okay, you told me. You told me. All right. I told y'all he be telling me stuff. All right. And then the Chariot in reverse. Yeah, stay right here. Okay, stay right here. You ain't moving nowhere. So that also could be like God giving someone this punishment, like stay right there. Nobody told you to move. Okay. Time out school or something like that. Chariot energy, Cancer, the Magician in reverse. Oh yeah, so God caught somebody doing. So what people don't understand is, okay, so if God owns everything, all right. So when you're doing your magic and your little space quarters or whatever, like you don't think God can see you like you're in a dollhouse. If God owns that house, that dollhouse, you just in the room of a dollhouse. Whether you have a house of your own or not, you're just in a room. And God is like, okay, no, don't mind me. Comes in, is like, oh, I like what you done with the place. What you doing today? I'm gonna do this and then don't know they're answering God's questions and stuff too. It's so funny. And 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 then it's like, oh, don't mind me. I'm just sitting here. I'm just watching what you're doing, like but you're gonna have to pack up in a minute. You're gonna have to pack up in a minute, but finish out what you're doing. Lay it all out, okay? Let's see what you come up with. Oh, nice. All right. Now get the fuck out. And they may have even a sudden urge to get out, or somebody call them on the phone and like with an urgent call and they have to move immediately. Like, that's God. That's God. It's like, I'm glad you, and they have to leave, drop everything and leave. Like, and then they do whatever and God does whatever God does. Okay. God may evict them, figuratively, but there was intention and thought and strategy put into all of this. Thank you for the fourth like, and may God bless you bonusly, especially when I'm talking about God, because sometimes, although I believe I'm confident enough, and way more than I used to be, like, I really don't want to trip up on, like, when I believe God is directly channeling something, and if it is X-rated, because everybody is not used to people referring to God how I refer to God, and that's fine. And God don't want you to try it either, like, because I've developed this relationship, I've given merit, or I've earned merit from this relationship, and maybe that merit is to be able to be candid with God despite whatever. Okay, no limits. Okay, no limit. A Libra man could be significant as well. But yeah, so we got the Magician in reverse, and that's what I was getting from that. It's like they got caught, but God's like, no, don't move, don't. It's like, don't finish what you were doing, but finish what you were doing and leave. Okay. So it's like, get it out, get out whatever you need to do. Because sometimes when they finish what they're doing and then they have to leave, they probably gonna end up where you are, or not end up where you are, or where they should have been with you. So this is giving me like, God would prepare a table in front of my enemies, like show people your success, show people things they missed out on and stuff like that. Anubis could be close to you as well, and I think of Anubis like a new bitch, okay? Like, even show, like show your person, or so somebody's person, or them with their person, or and stuff in front of certain people as well. So I'm gonna leave it there. God, hi. I'll be so excited when I feel like God is here. Okay, I know God is always here, but like that, that walk in the room presence where you have to acknowledge it. Okay, yeah. If anything, if you're gonna stand up and honor anybody, it's gonna be God. Okay, it's gonna be Jesus. It's gonna be God energy. Okay. Not no damn pastor, okay? I do not, even when I practice Christianity and baptism and stuff like that, like, I never looked at, like, compared the pastor to even God. Like, I honestly look at the pastor as so much more lower than God, and especially now, but like before, it's like, okay, so you're saying, like, God is saying this, or, you study with God to bring us this word. It's like, you had to prepare with God, like, it's you had to prepare though, like, you didn't, it didn't come from you. And I know it shouldn't come from you, but it's like, I know the relationship, and some of them don't even take it that seriously. But I'm like, if I give you any presumption, that's what I'm giving you. And it don't make you look like that such a grand deal. You get what I'm saying? I hope y'all do. And if you don't, it's probably not for you. It's like they working on a group project together and giving me a presentation, basically. Like, I'm like, I would be much more impressed if you were doing things like this. Like, you were in your quarters studying, to come up here to talk to us. That's what they do. So I'm like, if anything, you lower than God, so I cannot exalt you as God or near God. Like, God get, like, I don't know. And then when I learned that even about the devil, I'm like, the devil work for God? Like, I learned that in the book of Job. So book of Job is significant. But, like, I'm like, the devil, like, work for God and stuff like that. Or, like, I'm like, so I can't be scared of you. Like, I work for God. Like, it's like, I work for God too. Like, type of shit. And it's like, and honestly, if we were comparing results, I'm not that pleased with you, I hope y'all enjoyed that. But yeah, the Hermit, yeah, see, God, the Hermit's coming out again in reverse. It's like you're your own guy. You presented yourself as that, but sometimes when people lean on God too much, like it should disqualify you almost. You should be fired, motherfucker. You should be fired. Like I kind of don't respect you, but not in a respect that you think I'm talking about. I'm in a respect of like I should not be kissing the ground you walk on. Like I don't know. Hopefully, people understand that need to understand because I think that needed to be said, and I know a lot of pastors be watching me acting like they don't and shit like that, and they be attacking me. See, look how low it makes y'all look anyway. Like y'all already look low to me. And then y'all think I'm gonna exalt you like God ever? Like the most I would do, I would stay safe or keep you safe in respect, but I'm not gonna compare you to God. Comparison. You don't even fuck with God like that. You ain't really fucking with God on any level. So I hate it. I went to this church that they would stand up when the pastor come in and stuff like that. And I never, and before I couldn't articulate, how I'm thinking now. But like before I even thought half of the stuff I'm thinking now, like I was already cringing about that. I'm like, I shouldn't have to, like, it shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal. I even think that about prayer when churches pray or, and you're walking in or something like that. Like, shit, I probably needed this part of the prayer. Shit. But I got to be locked out of it. Locked out of the door until they done praying. Like, and I understand it's about decorum and stuff, like, but ultimately, God is not going to be like, you remember that one day, like we were praying and you just walked in there, didn't care. Because you're not walking in there to be disruptive. You're walking in there to receive what is being given, right? So why is it coming about, like how we're looking at your ass? Like, oh, I'm sorry. See, why it's become like I'm looking at you like this mighty figure, and I'm not. Like I could respect you without like just fawning over you. But the whole church, I believe, looks at the pastor like that, especially in those churches that happens, or it's a big deal when the pastor comes. And I feel like it's mainly all of them, huh? I don't know. But I feel like there's some places where the pastor's already up there, like you expected to see the pastor today, right? You expect to receive something for the pastor, whatever, whether you saw them or not, right? So it's like, why is it such a big deal every time they walk in? Like, what are they doing so great? What have they been lotioned or rubbed down with, okay? That they must stand there like a fucking model. Like they got fucking glistening marks all over their body. I don't know. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. And I think it's annoying. It's honestly, to me, if you trying to say anybody's mocking God or using God's name in vain or using God's reputation in vain, it's them. It's them preachers. They care more about how people look at them than how they look at God. Even how they themselves look at God. Yeah, so I'm not gonna make this one too long. I'm gonna come back very soon. But if y'all new here, welcome again. I do try to make an effort to come on here every single day in the morning at least. But sometimes I do it more than once a day. And I was just gonna use this as my morning reading, and it is. It's just that I have another morning reading for you guys. Yeah, and I've been feeling this inkling to like move out the energy at certain points in time in a reading. So we have thank you. Thank you. Because sometimes I do something like so quickly and naturally, like I forget what God had planned for you guys. So we have true love in reverse and true gem with messy. It's like this. These are such beautiful, like even the true love and the true gem being in reverse. That's a beautiful combination with messy in reverse. It's like, like someone is willing to give up everything for this because they've had everything without this, without true love, without having someone who is a true gem or themselves being a true gem. They occupied in the messiness, whether it's drama, chaos, but it's saying wildlife, addictions, unhealthy sex life. We spoke about a lot of this stuff today. Wow. But yeah, so they had all this and they had everything, but they willing to give up everything, including their habits and addictions and stuff, and including anything else that made them able to, afford this stuff, anything that adds value to them, their lives. They're willing to give that all up for you. Okay. Or, someone who is a true love, because this true love don't have to be a romantic, but it's mainly romantic. But this true love, this someone, because a lot of us are in families or born into families who didn't love us, who didn't love us for real. They only, like use this word family loosely, like they really took blood is thicker than water to heart or not, like it's just this extreme feeling when it comes to this current family or your relationship with a certain family member. And on true love, it says pure love, deep passion, unbreakable bond. See that unbreakable bond that they focus on more so, and they don't care what they got to do to keep it together. Like I was talking about the mother, earlier. It's like she was like this so much that she became this, like, but these were just habits at first. These were just tendencies, that she would normally have. And now she's totally different, or looking at this situation different because she probably realizing like she could admit to her mistakes. So a lot of you guys could probably even be getting apologies from your parents, mother figures and stuff like that, like realizing it is me, like, and not to even you to put your finger in their face or, like, or aha them or even me to aha them. It's like, I'm giving you the respect, space, and time to come to a conclusion without me having to even think any negative thing towards you. This is all on you. And a lot of them are coming with that genuine mindset because that's the only genuine mindset we accept. Pure love. Love will end up making you apologize for being the way you are. Not even just for what you've done to them, being the way you are. That's on me. Maybe you have parents who say, like, yeah, that one was on me. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this or should have been this way or, but been this way. They got to focus on that because that's what it was. They were that way. And some people do that in families, especially big families, where there's a mainly respected figure, whether it's a man or a woman. They'd be like, that's just how such and such is. And, like they've learned to live around it instead of, and then so now you're growing something around the thing that's not supposed to be there. So it creates a wound. It's giving me that wound that has the gooey stuff inside and then the crust on the outside. Like they start building the crust for this motherfucker and it's gooey on the inside because the crust is even healing faster than them because it ain't nothing wrong with the crust. The crust is just trying to keep the peace, keep this wound growing. But they don't know it's a wound that's growing. They thinking they growing something good and they not. So that wound, the middle gooey part needs to admit it's a middle gooey part that ain't done. It's giving me a cake that ain't done in the middle too. All that shit. But yeah, so and then we have true gem saying valuable, quality, real, one of a kind, a catch. See, it's like even them catching themselves of who they really are. They want to be that. They want some of them truly want to come there. True gem, okay? True Jen. Someone's name could be Jen with the G or J as well. When I see G and J together, I think of God and Jesus, okay? The Father, the Son as well. So a father and son could be working together, or, or this could be what a father realizes. It's like, because the son is probably confused, like, I don't really know what I've done to my father. Because you probably didn't do nothing, and their father probably didn't do nothing, or their father probably did. He probably had an ex-spouse, an ex-girlfriend growing up, those type of shit, even a crush they had, like, so they start carrying this backpack of wounds. Like, it's giving me the Fool card, Aries energy. Maybe they receive rejection and stuff like that. And now they're realizing, these people probably had something wrong with them who rejected them, or probably didn't. They probably ever had saying like, now, I have every right to be rejected. Yeah, she should have been rejecting me. He should have been rejecting me. Whatever it was. I'm surprised they still talk to me. Because I was doing them dirty. So a lot of people are going to be realizing that, but in romantic relationships too, but I was trying to show you how it don't have to just be romantic, even though these are romantic cards, or, or the true love focus on romantic. It has a man and a woman here as well. Barbie and Ken relationship. Okay. And it was just so beautiful, like, I saw that movie Barbie, the Barbie that came out not too long ago, like I think 2022. And I thought I thought it was, exaggeration with how they had Ken acting, because I grew up like always wanting Barbie and Ken. I didn't just want Barbie. I wanted Ken too, and then I always and I don't say this like to brag or anything, but like when I thought of like stuff with Barbie, like I didn't really think of like the fashion more so. I always used to think of the stuff that she came with. Like I requested like a RV home, but I also wanted Ken, in there. And then on the movie, you know, it came to a conclusion, like they didn't know where Ken lived, like, or Ken didn't have a place. It was all about Barbie. And I was like, so that's a bit of exaggeration for me, because of how they even created this Ken character around that, and and stuff like that. And I don't think essentially that's what Ken. I know it's a movie, but it's like that's not really what goes on. That's not really what happens, in general, like, and it's exaggerated, but I just thought it was so cute, as well, to like, if I removed the exaggeration part and just took it, like, I just thought it was cute that he could be like that, like he could reach the stage where he's all about Barbie, and like he's wonder Barbie dictates his life, but not in a controlling way. It's like, in a way where like they both want to do that, or both want to live that way. And then even to put it on Barbie, not to think she just all that, and she could treat anybody any type of way, especially Ken, like, so. Yeah, I just thought that was so cute, and that's why I brought it up, because I thought it was so cute, like how he would be obsessed with Barbie. But something like that is significant for y'all. But yeah, so up in the Aries in reverse, so somebody really made a decision. Yeah, it says unresolved, unstable, undecided, unknown. So a lot of people could have dealt with the words that that were listed here without the un here, like, or they're now being able to resolve. They're now being able to be stable. They're not, like, they realized they were unstable in the head. And I was just saying that. And this was the card after the messy card. But I wasn't gonna take that card. I was just looking at that. But yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Someone's realizing their mistakes, and not as a, like, for you to even rub it in their face, or themselves to rub it in their face. It's like, dang, this is who I am. Like, I can't blame anybody but myself, And the ultimate goal is to, realize what you have to do to be the self that you will love. But yeah, changes is coming with justice. A court case. Justice is in reverse. A court case is turning around or something like that. And it says karmic justice. I like how they listed justice twice because they wanted to remind you that this is justice. Okay. And it says on change, shift, expansion, cycles, development, transition. So, wow. And then justice says truth, law, contracts, lessons, and karmic justice. But I really just looked at karmic justice because karma just means lesson, and they listed lesson. Like even a person you were around, because a karmic don't always have to be a lover, or this lover that's trying to be between you and your actual person and stuff like that. It could be a karmic family member, a karmic friend, co-worker, even doing it big. Somebody could be a drag queen. All or nothing, the best, grand gestures, big risks. Okay, see, somebody is realizing that, and that's why they're willing to do stuff like this, take this risk and stuff like that. Hunted in reverse. Some of them realized they were possessed, okay, or hunted, or dealing with people who were like zombies, okay. Mama Maratha could be close to you as well. Deep regret. Wow. Suffering, sleepless nights, stress. And that's in reverse. So it's like they realize even, some of them have already made these moves that I'm talking of, going places. Yeah. So they already made steps like this towards this. And now they're realizing, the effects it's having on their life positively. Okay. And we have going places that says impressive moves, busy, bright future, no games. Yeah. They putting the games away. I don't wanna play no games, fuck around, give you my last name. I know you're tired of the same damn thing. It's okay, but maybe you got it, girl, you got it. Shady business in the justice system. So somebody could be correct in this justice system. Justice want to come out again with shady business, repairs in reverse. So, like somebody don't want to admit that they're wrong, and they're going to realize they're going to wish they admitted it already, that they are wrong or something's about to come out. And justice, judgment, already came out too. But on repairs, it says mending, improvement, sorry, rebuilding, adjustments. Okay, so some of these people you won't want to forgive. I'm getting as well. You, despite the fact that they could own up to their mistakes. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you fixed yourself. You're gonna be telling them, but toodaloo now. Okay, my life has been just so much better without you. As well, someone's name could be Violet. Okay, Cindy. And then change wants to come out again with young love. Okay, so wow. And I was mentioning, like, they could have had some issues with people with rejection or crushes. And it says the first thing on young love, it says crush, new person, playful connection. So it's like, if anything I want to do is like take it back to the days we met, or like it was. Can we make it like it was? First kiss, first hug. Can we make it like it was? And we were in love. Can we make it like it was? I had to have for you. I keep screaming for you, girl, because I've been around the world and never find another girl that was nothing like you. No, 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 no. And I came at it, I'm so addicted, like a gambling habit. You was on me, but I ain't having it. You say me, I ain't having it. We put too much in just to pull out. It's just too good for me to pull out. I can't stay to see you cry. I saw people fall in love. Yeah, they don't want to see you cry anymore. They tired of making you cry and stuff like that. But that's pretty Ricky. Make it like it was. But yeah, so they want to go back to those young days. And I didn't know some of the stuff that they said in that song. I haven't listened to it in a while, and I didn't even know I knew that much. But yeah, so someone also could be recovering from a gambling habit, so like, see, some of these addictions aren't hurting people, but they could hurt people. They could impact people who are relying on you, who you're relying on as well, and stuff like that. But yeah, so a new shift is coming, in your love life, and maybe you're looking for ways to spice it up, People are realizing like they put too much in, they invested too much in you, in this relationship, this connection, like to just let it go all right now. And while sometimes that is a good excuse, but sometimes that is not such a great excuse, because maybe you exhausted all those resources that, or maybe you got your money back, return on investment back within all of this, like, so the things you put in, it wasn't in vain. It was probably just to teach you a lesson. It was not meant to stick around as well. So you could keep that in mind as well for some of you. But young love, everything I need, I got my young love. So you could have loved this person since you were young as well. That's Chris Brown. And then I was singing another Chris Brown and Drake song earlier. What is it called? No Guidance. Okay. Power couple. Yeah, see y'all trying to upgrade. Okay, waiting in reverse. The wait is over. They've been longing for you, wishing you come back. Oh wow. And it says expecting their return. It says longing, wishful, and then expecting their return. Like they've been waiting on you to come back. I don't know what these cards say, so sometimes I do take the time to read them, but I'll be surprised when I predict it. And it don't be from memory. Back down memory lane. Yeah, so influential, successful, and stronger together with power couple. Okay, with a sweet home. Oh, so it's like restoring. The home is giving me restoring things back in its place as well. Someone could be unpacking, moving, but a sweet home is coming. Your wishes are coming true, with wishful being in reverse on waiting. Like, so it's like your wishes are coming true. You were wishful, you were hopeful to this day, so you deserve it. Security, yeah, comfort, tribe, moving, environment. Wow. Yeah, so, and then true gem is that real stuff. A gift could even be coming as well. A real gift, the real gift to life. You are the real gift. I did a reading about divine masculine and divine feminine, saying like you both are the prize, you both are the prize. Like one is not better than the other, because you fought battles and overcome battles and deserve victories as well, like, so despite whether you're the man or the woman, or the man or the other man, like, or the woman or the other woman, like you guys both have contributed to your journeys respectively in different ways, the same ways, and you deserve to arrive at this destination too, especially if you weren't a person who had bad intentions. That flopped out. Okay, bad intentions. Yeah, betrayal, lies, harmful warning, vengefulness. Okay, and opposites in reverse. So somebody even stayed with someone or was with someone because they was thinking like opposites attract. Someone can have a black or a white cat, especially a small cat on the other side, or right now a cat with green eyes, respectfully, or the same, or whatever. Also a all brown cat, or a cat with a lot of brown in it. Okay, yeah, somebody could also have bad intentions. Maybe I just stepped on some bunions. Okay, we got sadness in reverse. Okay, or somebody is happy you brought this to their attention. It doesn't make them sad, or it will normally make them sad. It will make them take pity on themselves and, beat themselves up and stuff like that. It says unhappiness, regret, heartbreak, pessimism. They've probably gone through all of this, like, and they probably aren't noticing that they went through all of this when they had bad intentions, when they were thinking they were compatible with people and they weren't. They kept clashing with them, always at odds, loveless, and some of them just couldn't settle down. Uncompromised, yeah, not compromised. We were speaking about that earlier. Rigid, they had to walk on eggshells. This couple, like I was getting like this couple don't talk to each other or stuff like that. Expectations, or they'll expect you to do something or know something without them saying it or something like that, because they have preconceived notions, they have biases. They could be misogynist, or like sexist, or whatever it is. Okay, but the plan is in reverse. It's like a lot of them departed the plan, like I spoke about earlier, about an example, about this whole topic. Like they violated the plan and you stuck to the plan, and you made decisions that brought you to prevention. Okay, cold and serving, and they thought, if they acted cold like this, it will make them, you beg them back more, because so somebody could, like thugs, or like rude boys and shit like that. Come here, rude boy, can you get it up? And then now waiting is come back upright. So you got abundance waiting, yeah, or gift is coming, like or someone tried to discount the abundance you have, because you don't always have to have money to have abundance. You can have abundance of bullshit too. Like you can have abundance of anything, and they discounted that. But they also try to use it as a tool for you to measure how much they love you, or them to measure how much you love them. How much you were willing to give would show how much you love them, and how much you probably wouldn't let them go. Okay. Yeah, because cold servant says detached, unresponsive, aloof, uncommunicative. Some people like ghosted you or ignored you on purpose, gave you the silent treatment. That's a form of manipulation. Okay. And they did it so long. Okay. Years. Financial gain, windfall, promotion, stability. Okay. They keep saying about stability. And every time they say stability, I go to mental. I don't get it, even the, like housing stability, or, life stability. I get mental stability, because people really had like their brain was rattling around, like their brain shrunk and it was rattling around in their head. Okay. But yeah, so someone is waiting. They're saying, you're detached, or they could just be assuming this as well. Cat spirit, oh, you don't need me no more. Cat spirits, yeah, these cats are sticking out to me. And I see them all the time, but they don't always stick out to me. But yeah, so you can have a cat with stripes, or had a cat with stripes as well. Have a white belly, no matter what color the cat is. Also a gray cat, a black cat, dark gray especially, with stripes, without stripes, or something like that. A new dawn in reverse. Yeah, so this person is like, you moving on without me. Also you independent woman, or independent man now, or something like that. Healthy boundaries, and I was thinking healthy bonds is like healthy connections, or like people are getting surprised at who you met or who type of energy. Yeah, because you're not letting people get in the way of your new experiences anymore, because it's a new dawn. On this new dawn card, it looks like she waiting out the window for somebody to come, and she got all dressed up for her to uh, go somewhere, or them to take her somewhere or something like that, and he stood her up or something like that. So a lot of like energy where people run away from their responsibility is coming out here. Okay. So, and on this new dawn card, it says new beginnings, newness, new experiences, rebirth. It's like, starting over and stuff like that, but also trying to mimic what happened, what was supposed to happen before, or try to get it close to there, because they wanted it to, like, they thought it was perfect before because you were already at prevention. You were working towards prevention, but they want to make it even better. Okay. Oh, and then we had the bride in reverse, especially, a wedding, maybe you guys are getting married, or been married more than once or something like that, and it's like going to be your best marriage or wedding yet. But a woman is getting married, or someone is choosing a woman because they seeing the woman's the one choosing you, marriage material. Okay, your wifey material, your hubby material, and stuff like that, walking away. And I was saying, like people run away from their responsibilities. They were afraid of this at first. They were afraid to even see you walk down the aisle, for some of them, because how real it will make them. They thought you would probably even abandon them. They thought you would reject them. They, what is it called? Jilted at the altar and stuff like that. And jilted also gives me bitter feelings, because something like that will make you so fucking bitter. You wait to the day of, okay, we paid for all this shit. At this point, I ain't even thinking of you not coming up to marry me. Like, damn, you had us go through all this. Because I know, like, these weddings be hard to plan, and it invokes so much stress, whether you want to be peaceful or not. Like, something always goes wrong, like, and I hate to think of it that way, because you could manifest based on that, but it's like something happens where it's not what you wanted when it comes to a wedding. It's not, something's not what you wanted, or something didn't work out, even if you had the ceremony on time or whatever that goes through. Like, something before that happened, or like, it's just, it seems like those type of places, especially, maybe it could be because these people weren't meant to be together, but like, these places offer a space for something to happen. It's like, why isn't it never that? They used to have a show called Bridezillas, because things like that happen. You know, these motherfuckers turn into bridezillas, you know, for this day, you know, because it invokes a lot of stress. You know, I'm not giving them an excuse though to be who they was. But yeah, walking away is in reverse. So they want to come back. Someone was begging him back as well. I'm getting Monica's song Before You Walked Out of My Life. I never meant to cause you no pain. I just wanna go back to being the same. And I only wanna make things right before you walk out my life. But yeah, so walking away says abandonment, leaving, moving on, no interest. And then we spoke a lot about a lot of this stuff. But yeah, and that's in reverse. It's like they're realizing that they're actually interested in that. So a Scorpio woman could be significant communication. They were scared to talk to you. They could have kept writing a text message and erasing it or not sending it, you know, it's in the drafts online, or they wanted to message you online as well. We got online activity, this mature man. And when one of the cards came out, I got woman, a mature woman. So a older or elder couple as well. They could be your elder to you, or in your friend group or something like that. Special time. So maybe the oldest person in the friend group. Unforgettable moment, different destiny, luck. And special time is in reverse and it has a couple there. So it's like, you know, they're trying to find a way in their schedule, or you're trying to find a way in your schedule because someone's busy or you appear busy or something like that. Because going places came out again and it says busy here, impressive moves and stuff like that. You could be a mother, you could be on mommy duty. I don't like to say that word because I don't believe in that shit, but you know, you could be dealing with your children, or you know, someone you take care of. You could be taking care of a parent as well. Okay, budgeting. Okay, or even doing, I'm getting like even estate planning or something, for someone's getting prepared for someone to pass. Okay, costly decisions, debt, money issues, resources. Okay, the writer, yeah, like is giving me like she's on a horse, and it's giving me like death is riding up. It's giving me that Scorpio card where it has the horse, the man on the horse, he's riding up and he ran over someone as well. Someone could be getting hit by a car. Movement, news, arrival, hurried approach, quick. Okay, a car going too fast or something like that. Drunk driver, or this happened in the past to you. Okay, so it's a confirmation. Mature man. Is this guy coming back again? Provoked in reverse. uh, so somebody could be mad at you and stuff like that, or they saw you do something. And earlier I was talking about how like someone could have been with somebody who just lies for no reason, and you know, stuff like that. But it says triggers, angers, not talking, bitter. I love that. I love that. And it's in reverse though, y'all. It's in reverse. But you know, like bitter is coming out. Like people thought you were, and they don't have a reason to think that. They, if anything, like shit, my ass is bitter. Okay. They want to take notes from your ass. Like, how did you handle me? But yeah, so I got that. The writer wants to come out again. So somebody is like even a Scorpio could be standing in the way of something, or you know, just wants to be seen and wants to hide someone else as well. It's giving me that King David story again, you know, with King David, Jesse, his brothers, prophet who came to anoint the prophet that God said should be in the house. And the prophet did all the older brothers, and then left David out at first. And then the prophet asked, like, is there more? You know, like, and his dad, David's dad, Jesse, said like, oh, we have David, but he tends to the sheep. He ain't nobody, you know, like basically because he don't think much of his son, you know. And David was a beast, you know. He used to wrestle the lions, you know, to protect the sheep and stuff like that. And then he was like, bring him in here. And David was the one. That was the one that they try to hide, you know, like, because some people even see that light in you or don't see it, you know. So you have those, many of those type of people trying to enter back into your life again. So depending on, you know, your judgment is up to you, you know. It's your judgment when it comes to if you want to forgive them or not. Most of the time they've shown you who you are. I mean, who you are and who they are. Is that person willing to go with you to the next level, you know? if you're thinking about forgiving them or not. Are they willing? Are they even willing, you know? Or are they just wanting to, you know, have this conversation for the sake of having a conversation and feeling like they got something off their checklist or something? I don't know. Someone could be in a program where they're like, they have to make amends with people, you know, as well. That show Mom could be significant, or a mom feels like they have to make amends with someone, especially a son, like I was talking about earlier, but it could be anybody. I was just talking about Jesse with David, you know, like David, even growing up, minding his own business or whatever he's done, you know, like he still had respect for his father, because there was a time when he was about to go beat Goliath. You know, like he had to basically beg his dad to let him go take the lunches to the soldiers. And then I think that's when he was saying, like, yeah, I wrestle lions or something like that, either before or after he fought Goliath and stuff like that. And he only had a slingshot and 3 pebbles and stuff like that, to do anything like that. But you know what he had was good enough as well. So it's like he kept his respect towards his father, and he probably didn't even know how his father didn't value him. You know, like he didn't even know, or he did know and then was wondering, like, why do you disvalue me so much, or undervalue me, belittle me so much? And you know, like he probably wondering that, and so that energy is definitely here. Or wondered that, or you could be that man or that boy who wonders why, you know, your dad doesn't believe in you as much as he even believes in the older siblings as well, you know, or there's just always something with you, you know. And could be because he's jealous. It could be because he's bitter and don't even understand that he's doing what he's doing. So yeah, so hopefully this message blessed y'all. Y'all enjoyed it. Anything y'all want to come true in this reading, I hope it comes true for you and for you soon. Please come back and visit me in the future. Again, if you're new here, welcome. I hope that you consider and decide to subscribe, join this tribe, this kingdom of God. We're building here through tarot. Yes, through tarot, but either way I go, thank you for trusting me to be your reader today and spending time with me. And thank you so much, OG God and Goddesses, for tuning back in and your continued support. I appreciate that. What up? Was this message helpful? And I hope we continue to connect in the future. Thank you so much for trusting me again to be your reader. All right, please like the video if you haven't already. You made it this far. I'm gonna go, and like I said, I'm gonna come back very soon. Not probably because I stayed on too long. I'm not gonna come back that soon, but I'm gonna come back soon. All right. But yeah, have a great day or night whenever you are watching this. Please kiss your kids for me. All right. Bye.